What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 13. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Johnny Bay. I'm a flight attendant and I do daily vlogs. Sometimes, every now and then, I will do a video kind of like this one where I sit down and just talk to you about the lifestyle, tell you a story, and even tell you what I did before and how I got to the position that I'm in, which is today's topic. So before I got my wings and started flying as a flight attendant, I was a regular person working a 9-to-5 job as a caregiver. And on my days off, I drove as an Uber driver / Lyft. So without going much into detail, growing up, I wasn't really sure exactly what I wanted to do. Well, actually I did, but that's another topic I'll save for another video. But I was kind of just going in between jobs and trying to find out something that I could stick with. And caregiving was a job that I had for a while. A while meaning the longest that I personally stayed at one job prior to being a flight attendant. But the whole conversation of being a flight attendant came up when I was in San Francisco with my ex-girlfriend. Actually, we were meeting up my mom and my aunt. So we went to Fisherman's Wharf and we were having lunch, and my mom and my aunt, they were asking my ex, they're like, hey, so how's the job, blah blah blah. And she's like, it's good, it's very fun, you know, being able to travel, of course. And then a little more back and forth, and out of nowhere, they look at me and they're like, oh, you should be a flight attendant. I'm like, me? Yeah, right, that never. Why would I? No, that's weird. Never ever. Never gonna happen. Never. So, first of all, I'd just like to say, before I knew anything about being a flight attendant, the lifestyle, I thought you had to go to school for it. I always had that impression that you had to go finish college in order to become a flight attendant. And when they told me that, no, you don't have to, you just have to be really good with customer service and, you know, be a regular human and just don't be a dick, basically. Even then, I still wasn't like, oh yeah, let's do it, you know, college dropout, let's go do this thing then. Like, no, I still went on to work as a caregiver and drove Uber, like lived the regular lifestyle. And then I forgot exactly what it was, but I think one day something clicked and I was like, you know, maybe I should give this thing a try, you know, because I see my ex and she's having fun, you know, on her layovers and just literally being able to explore the world and, you know, making money at the same time. Like, it was such an incredible idea to me and so far-fetched, because, I mean, prior to that, the farthest I've ever been to was, yeah, San Francisco, which is, looking back, it's like crazy, because now the longest flight I've been to and the farthest I've ever been is Athens, Greece. Like, that blows my mind even saying that, because I never thought I'd be able to go there at all. So very, very grateful. Anyways, going back to the story, I applied to SkyWest Airlines. SkyWest was my first airline that I applied to, and their process is you just show up to an event, they'll post it on their website or whatever. And I went to Atlanta. Flew to Atlanta and they were like, yeah, do this thing, go to this hotel lobby, and then there's a big group and they had these questions that you had to answer and you guys take turns answering them. I believe it was like fishbowl style questions, and I made it all the way to the end. It took all freaking day. I made it all the way to the end. I did my face-to-face with this lady and I thought it went well. I went home and, long story short, I didn't get it. 2 weeks later, I got that dreadful TBNT, which basically means no in our industry. And I remember being in my ex-girlfriend's room, like, just holding back the tears. Like, I was like, man, what the hell? You know, I really wanted it. But after SkyWest, I applied to like literally every other airline, every regional airline, and they all said no. Fast forward to my last company, Mesa Airlines. Funny story. I don't know if I should share. I'm not going to. But anyway, I applied to Mesa, and I was hired with them, thankfully, and I was very excited. You know, despite all the negative things people said, I was like, you know, it's my first airline. It's a real thing. I'm going out to training. It's like 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks, which was incredibly long for me at the time, and I remember going to training just scared, just my freaking heart pounding. And I remember when we were in the lobby, there was like maybe 30 of us. I thought that was a big ass group at the time. They're like, oh, you guys have to get up, say your name and all that, and what you do prior. And it's my turn. My heart was coming out my chest, sweating bullets. It was so nerve wracking. But after that, I just had so much fun. Got to meet some really cool friends, and then got my wings. So after being a regional flight attendant, graduating, I was based in Washington Dulles. We only had 4 bases that we can choose from: Dulles, Houston, Dallas, and Phoenix. Chose Dulles because it was the closest one back home to Chicago. And my ex, she works for a mainline carrier, which is just, I mean, that's where you want to be, usually, depending on your circumstances. But some people are content with regionals, which is completely fine. My situation, though, I wanted to go to a mainline right away. That didn't happen, so I went to regional, which was my stepping stone. Man, that stepping stone was huge, man. I'm telling you, that was a struggle. Anyway, got to Mesa, and I applied, got hired, started flying. Literally after like a month of flying, I was like, okay, it's time to see other options to see if I can get hired, because now I have experience, right? 1 month of flying. Again, applied to every single regional airline, applied to all the mainline carriers, like literally all the US carriers you can think of, even charter ones, private ones. They all said, nah, fam, nah, stay at Mesa. That's where you belong. I was like, shh, man, why does nobody want me? Here's the thing. The airline that I'm with right now, I did apply with them within that same span. At the time, I didn't notice because there was so much going on with all the other airlines that my airline currently did not reply back. So from getting hired at Mesa, fast forward to about my 9th or 10th month into Mesa, I get an email, the most random email of my life, with my airline right now. It says, hey, you're invited for a video interview. Like, me? Hold on. Did someone else sign into my email and got hacked? Because I didn't hear from you guys at all. So it took about 8 months for my current airline from applying online to getting a video interview, which was why I was so damn shocked when they said, yeah, you know, we want to know more about you. Here's a video interview. Show us what you got. Did the video interview, killed it. I think what was after that was a phone interview at the time was for us. And another story with this, so after the video interview, it took maybe another month to get the phone interview. And I was like, man, they're not gonna, I didn't get it, it's taking a while. So I was supposed to have this trip to Hawaii with my ex, right? I was still with Mesa. And I finished my 3-day trip or whatever, and I remember celebrating that night. I was like, yo, man, I'm about to go to Hawaii the next morning. It's going to be fun. I'm just going to have a stress in life. We're going to go to the beach, etc. Like, all that fun stuff. I get a call from Mesa. It's like, hey, you've been junior assigned, which basically means like I was the most junior person at the time, and something came up, like an irregular operation, and they needed somebody to work a flight because I think somebody got sick or there was an emergency. And I was the most junior, so they're like, you know what? Doesn't matter if it was your day off the next day or whatever. You're the most junior. You have to go. So I did. I had no choice. I was so pissed. But this is where it comes into play. Manifestation and everything happening at the same. I mean, everything happening for a reason. Like planets aligning, stars, whatever you want to call it. So I had an overnight in Toronto. And I remember just that night being so freaking pissed because I'm not going to Hawaii. I was in Toronto. It was snowing, cold, and our airport was like behind the hotel somewhere. Behind our hotel was behind the airport. I can't talk. How did I get this job? And even if I wanted to go out, there was nothing. It was literally like our hotel, the airport, like industrial stuff, like trucks. Anyway. So the next morning, or that night, I remember getting the email or whatever, and it said something about the phone interview. And I wasn't going to do it. And the next morning I was like, maybe I should. who knows what might happen. Like, I should give it a shot, right? While I'm here. Because I think they gave you 5 days, and I wanted to just get Toronto over with, go to Hawaii, and then maybe do it in Hawaii. But I was like, you know what? We'll do it right now since I have a late-ish show the next day anyway. So I remember sitting in my hotel room just still angry at the world and just, yeah. And I did the phone interview. And before the phone interview, I remember looking online for some tips and advice. And people would usually say, oh, my phone interview lasted between 15 to 20 minutes. And then that was it. So I knew that my phone interview went well when I stopped to look at the phone and to see how you can look at how long the conversation's been. It lasted about 45 to 50 minutes. It was fun. It was so natural. It didn't feel like an interview. It felt like a conversation between friends. That's why time passed so quickly. Wow, what did I even say there? Time went by so quickly, and the reason why that happened is because she was asking me the phone interview questions, like the cookie cutter questions. That lasted about 20 minutes, and then when she was about to end it, she was like, "So, do you have any questions for me, or do you have any questions in general?" So we flipped the script. Every time we tell the story, I'm like, I tell my friends like I became the interviewer. I interrogated her. So that's the reason why it took 45, 50 minutes, the conversation, because I was genuinely interested in like how, she got started. I wanted to hear her story before flying and all that stuff. So I guess she really liked that, and she was impressed, and she told me, we don't usually do this, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to send you an invite to the face-to-face interview. So you could imagine how ecstatic I was. Like my flip just switched from being angry and depressed and just hating everybody to just, I want a hug. You get a hug. You get a hug. Maybe not, but you get a hug. You know what I mean? It was incredible. I remember going to Hawaii. Like, it was so proper, just celebrating. Hold on. Coffee break. So going back to the story, I remember going home super excited about everything. And I was like, this is it. I have to prepare as much as I can. So I reached out to people, went online, just researched as much as I can about the face-to-face process and my current airline. So I go into my face-to-face, April 16th. And mind you, I've done all the other ones. I've done maybe 6 or 7 face-to-faces prior to this. So the ones before, I was always like straight, just like a robot, like analyzing everything, just making sure everything's proper and just making sure I'm good. I'm like exactly what they want. I'm good, right? Freaking robot. I remember going to my current airlines face to face and thinking, man, I've gone through a lot, and I've done all the other face to faces, and I've learned from those mistakes. So you know what? What do I have to lose? This is literally the last U.S. carrier that has not said no to me within the last 8-9 months. So you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna be myself. If that's not good enough for them, then whatever. On to the next, right? So I went in there. Of course, I was nervous, but I was myself. I was like not stressing about what they want or anything like that. Super early, and I went in there just super. I gotta stop saying super. Just really happy and genuine with everything. I started conversations with a bunch of people, and they were happy that they were there. A lot of other people were more nervous and happy, but you could kind of tell. But I was on cloud 9. And so I go into the face-to-face. We go to like the next section after the greetings and all that, the opening, and it was so much fun, man. Like, before this, I remember people were telling me, oh, that airline is so bougie. It's incredibly wild, like how they do things with their face-to-face. There's this one section where you sit in the middle of a room, kind of like this, right? And they just sit you in silence, and it's dark, and there's like this interrogation police light just shining down on you, and there's people with clipboards walking around, taking notes, looking at you like vultures. I'm like, what the hell did you do, man? That does not sound like a face-to-face to me. Sounds like you went into some Craigslist ad and got... Anyway, going to this face-to-face was the most fun I've ever had. Literally from start to finish, it was so much fun. It was like the phone interview, but in person. It was like talking to friends. Everything came natural. Everything was flowing. People were genuinely happy to be there, and I didn't feel any pressure. I think it's a combination of me deciding to just be myself and not stress about anything, and all the past failures that I've had prior to that, which was, something I definitely needed going forward, and I'm very grateful that that happened. I didn't know it at the time, but it definitely helped me out today. So let me fast forward to at the end of the face-to-face. We were sitting... Okay, first of all, at the end of the night, they sit you in this room where everybody's there, all the applicants, and they're like, okay, so we're going to call off your names by different groups, and when you hear your name by group, please take your stuff and head down to the lobby, and then your ride will be there to take you back to the airport. So group 1 didn't hear my name, group 2 didn't hear my name, group 3 didn't hear my name, group 4, I'm like, I'm still sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, this is taking so long, dude. Like, I kind of just want to go home at this point. I know I didn't get it. Like, why are they extending this? So one of the flight attendants, or like one of the recruiters, she gets up and she's like, guys, I know it's been a long day. I'm so sorry, but like the elevator just broke down. So can you guys just wait over here, like by the elevator area, so like when we're done, we can just wrap it up really quick. And I'm thinking again, I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? I didn't get the job. The elevator's freaking broken. Do they not have stairs here? Can I just get my stuff and leave? Like, I just want to get out. Despite having all that fun. Because at that point, I was like, man, deja vu. I'm not going to get it. Because I thought they would just be like, congrats, you got the job. You didn't get it, but you got the job. You get a hug. You definitely don't get a hug. Stuff like that. I didn't know how the process worked. I didn't get it. I've never gotten it in person. So I'm sitting there, confused and hungry and wanting food, and just I really needed a hug at that point. And I remember I felt a hand on my shoulder. So I'm like, man, you better not be touching. And there was this blonde lady, very well dressed, like executive. I was like, who is this? And then she goes, did you guys have a good time? Did you guys have fun? We're like, yeah, it's fun. Did you fix the elevator? Yeah. She said something, and then she's like, well, I'd like to ask you guys a question. Would you guys like to work for airlines? We were really impressed with you today, and we'd like to extend a job offer. Yo, when I heard that, I was like, excuse me? Can I hug you now? Holy crap, dude. When she said that, after that sentence, I didn't realize it at the time, but after she said that sentence, I kind of got up and I looked around. All the flight attendants were like coming in slowly, and they were like in a circle into a group, and they all started clapping. I was like, dude, this is not real. This cannot be real. Like, who is playing a prank on me right now? And they all started clapping, and they're like, congratulations, you guys. Guys, I'm sorry. It got cut off because my memory card, my SD card ran out of memory, and my battery was about to shut down. So after I stopped talking, I checked it, and that happened. So sorry, it got cut off. So what was I saying? I remember, like dead ass, I remember seeing a Kleenex box, and I grabbed like 2 or 3 of them, or like 4 tissues, and it just spalled out. Like, I covered my face. I didn't know what else to do. My eyes were just open faucet, just loose. Everything was all out, and I started shaking people's hands, just congratulating other flight attendants, flight attendants there. And I just remembered, like, wow, this is literally gonna change my life, because I know how hard it is to get into a mainline carrier. And I just remembered thinking about all of the previous failures that I had to go through in order for me to get to that point. And I had no idea at the time that that was necessary for me as a person, for my growth personally and mentally and professionally now. And I was just so damn grateful. I remember just thinking, I can't believe it. Like, why me? Like, why did this happen to me? It was such a gratifying moment to be there at that time, just people were celebrating me. They were celebrating me. They were clapping, and it was so genuine, and I loved it. My hunger went away, my exhaustion went away, everything went away, except for my job offer. That 3 hours afterwards, like we filled out paperwork and like the drug testing, I didn't even care. I was so ecstatic. Went to Hawaii, celebrated the damn thing. Picked a training date, 8 weeks. So going back, I was like, damn, 3 weeks? That's a long time to be away from home for some damn training. 8 weeks, yo! 2 months? You told me I gotta be away from my friends and family for 2 months? Yo, those 2 months were probably one of the best times of my life. Definitely this year, or I mean last year. It was so much fun. I got to meet so many people, and I hope that some of you guys are watching this right now. But I met so many people who are just so close to me right now, and they're just lifelong friends that you meet through this job, and it's incredible. I'm so lucky to have these new friends who I can call family now. You know, they'll have my back through thick, thin, whatever the case may be. Thank you guys. If you're watching this, thank you. I love you. And for those of you who I have not flown with yet, who I have not met yet, I know I will soon. And I know that we're going to build some strong friendships as well. And we're just going to have a good time. And, you know, fast forward to now, back to Atlanta, where it all started. SkyWest, went here, did the thing. I got a big fat no. Hey, full circle. Came back here, did training, got pinned here, got my wings, and now I'm back here doing this video, sharing my story, hopefully inspiring some of you, or teaching you guys a little bit of the knowledge, or teaching you guys a little bit about the flight attendant lifestyle with some of the knowledge and experience that I have. And it's been a blessing, really. I can't even put it into words. When I have these moments where I just sit there and like think about my life as a whole, it's really, really cool. Because obviously I'm doing video and YouTube on the side also, which is something I want to bring up. A lot of people who are flight attendants are entrepreneurs. They're pro athletes. They're doctors, nurses, photographers, other creatives. Like literally all walks of life can be paired up with this lifestyle because it's so flexible. I love it. It's incredible. Like last month I took 2 weeks off by just swapping and trading with other flight attendants, just because we have that option. It's fun because when you do that, you can kind of take a break and go back to your regular lifestyle and build your business or whatever it is that you're doing on the side. So that's a really, really cool part of this whole career. It's really cool. With that being said, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Also, if you guys enjoy this type of video, me talking about the flight attendant lifestyle and sharing my story or little tips or advice, let me know because I'd be happy to help you out. If anyone's watching this, if you're on the fence of becoming a flight attendant or just anything in the airline industry, I guess, there's some knowledge and experience that I could help you out with, especially with being a flight attendant. Please let me know. Comment or shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook. I'll be happy to help out anybody who is looking to become a flight attendant, regional or mainline. It does not matter. We're all the same. We're all in the journey to get our wings, and I was able to get my wings only because of the help of the people that I reached out to. So don't be afraid to ask for help. There are so many people that helped me out through this journey. I did not go through this alone, because if I did, I would not be here. Thank you guys for all the people. You guys know who you are, who helped me out through this journey to get my wings. I'm forever grateful for you. So I feel like it's my responsibility to extend that to anyone else who's interested to becoming a flight attendant. So yeah, please feel free to reach out. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys on episode 14. Daily vlogs will continue to happen because it's so much fun to me. It's also a challenge, but it's helping me grow as a person. But on top of it all, it's very fun. I enjoy it, and I feel like I'm getting better. I'm getting the flow of daily vlogging. So yeah, if you guys are sick of my face yet, or if you're sick of my face, go ahead and unsubscribe. If not, keep tuning in. I'm happy to keep blabbering in front of the camera and share with you what my life looks like, whether it's talking about being a flight attendant or just racing cars. I mean, not racing, because we don't do that. That's illegal. Okay, I think I'm going to say my old outro. Ready? Hold on. Keep failing forward, my friends. See you guys in episode 14.